Hey everybody, welcome to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some more Witcher Mercury. And we have some comments today. Let's go ahead and see what everyone's been saying. We got Joshua Chong saying, Number 1, Burien House belongs to the Burien Company that manufactures the Demi-type mobile suits and the Demi Trainer, used by the students in the Academy, and the Demi Garrison, used by the Front Garrison forces in Episode 2 and Episode 12 respectively.
When you
That would
were asking me who the girl who's always snappy with everybody on the dueling council is,
Uh-huh.
and the other guy who's always like on his pad doing shit,
Mhm.
and I couldn't tell you without all of my notes around me what house they belonged to,
Yeah.
because they're the only house that has two people on the dueling council. That's the house they belong to.
They're the everything house. They're the Hufflepuff of the series. There you go, everyone.
Well, I don't know Harry Potter that enough to be able to say that. Theirs is the very generic house. Because you can imagine they're making the suits.
Yeah, default house.
Yeah, they're the suits that everyone trains with, and all the cannon fodder suits that you see the Gundams blow up.
Mhm.
Except for the one time in episode 12 where they were Jaturk House.
Well,
suits.
they gotta train the mooks somewhere, right? Number 2, in the Gundam universe, there's a communication system called Contact Link. Contact Link can be established between two opposing ally or allied pilots when a mobile suit is physically in close range or contact with another mobile suit. Contact Link is usually used in cases where radio comms are heavily jammed in an area, or to establish a temporary secure channel between a few pilots when they are in close proximity to one another. This is definitely a writing tool, like 100%.
Well, I know that the comment further goes on, so I'll hold my comment back.
I think it is still funny that in the future, the primary way to communicate securely is the iPhone tap.
I don't know, it sounds more like, God, when you're doing like war novels and such, and you know the enemy's listening over radio, and you do point-to-point like laser communications.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. That's what it sounds more like, because in their comment they specifically said to get past blocking and everything.
E. Number 3. In the case for Witch from Mercury, evidence of contact link can be seen in episode 12, when Ghoul is only able to communicate with his father after the Desultor's melee weapon stabs directly into Vim's cockpit. Notice Ghoul's immediate response to talk to the opposing pilot when the contact link notification appears in the Desultor's monitor. Both pilots were not able to communicate with each other earlier during the battle, since the area was heavily jammed by the communication jamming pods scattered by Dawn of Fold.
The thing that throws me off about that is that, to their previous statement about what contact link is, Gundam to Gundam, they should, or mobile suit to mobile suit, they should have already been able to contact link. And what made me think at the time, or I guess up until just moments ago, that there was just radio communication, or whatever the equivalent is in our show here, is that they were only able to talk after the blockage stopped.
Right, so in that case, they would have been able to talk at that point anyway.
Well, according to their description of what contact link is, they should have been able to talk the whole time.
Right.
The only thing stopping it was Vim not okay, except.
Yeah. I think it's just a writing tool to me. I'm okay with that. Sometimes you just want to be able to have characters to talk to each other. It's still funny. I still like it. It's cute. I like the explanation we've gotten.
That's not the conceptual way that I'll ever take anything, Griff.
No, I know you want it all. That's fine.
I hate the idea that
you can continue being the hater here. I'll enjoy it.
No, it's not me being a hater. I guess I am. I'm hating you right now. I don't like that you're I actively do not like that you're conceiving of this in-world device as a narrative tool and not an in-world device. You're actively breaking it down into the meta. And once you start breaking things down into meta, you're not considering things as characters and tools anymore. You're considering them what the author intended things to do.
Okay, so tell you what, I'll give you like a bar of where I would set this. If they use contact link as an actual plot point and say there's no way they could have passed this message along, and it's like no, they were in contact during that one moment. I'm in.
Well,
There you
Griff,
go.
I think you should probably read the next thing then.
Oh, should we? Number 4, no contact link was established between Sophie and Suletta during combat, and the area was also heavily jammed, causing comms to be interrupted. So it is not possible for Suletta to hear Sophie's voice through the comms, and Suletta has been talking to herself and with the aerial. To be fair, she talks to herself a lot.
Right. Well, I mean,
Can't wait for your reaction to episode 2.
we literally already said that, though, during that episode, that I think she's not talking to anybody, right? Because we knew she wasn't, because Suletta just standing in, like, a bay or a viewing port with no, like, comms things and the power's out, and, like, she's not wearing a helmet. And it's just like, yeah, of course she's not talking to her then.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's having any back and forth either.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. It's just kind of funny to set up like the dueling monologues, I suppose, where both of them are just a little bit crazy.
Well, I guess that's
maybe monologues run in the family, and that's why they're both doing it.
That's the even better thing, I guess, is they wouldn't be dueling monologues, because if you put them side by side to each other, they would be overlapping, because no one knows what the fuck the other person's talking, right? So it's just two people shouting at each other. Or shouting at themselves. I don't know what you consider that position.
Hi, welcome to Seven Face Reactions. All right. So
yeah.
Next...
What's the conceit there, Griff? That all I do is wait for you to stop so I can say my thing without regards to anything you said?
Right, the joke is just shouting at each other. Next up, Lee Hongjun says, the things about number 5 that you guys are talking about about maybe no one in the school has ever met the real Ellen, maybe just number 4, and the other enhanced persons 1 to 3 may not even have changed their faces or gone to school, because maybe they're just test subjects in season 1. Peli CO says that they don't need to duel with Suletta like the others did, and seducing Suletta is part of the mission of number 5 in episode 10. When he seduces her and says things that hurt her, I don't think that was what he was trying to do. I think he was just saying out the facts, and he did agreed to Mjorn when she hired him to not dueling with each other during the serial of duels. Cecilia ask him if he plans to duel her again, and respond depends on company policy.
2 quick corrections. I'm going to start from the latter first.
Sure.
They said that they don't think that Elin 5 intended any harm when they were trying to seduce Suletta, which I believe is incorrect, because when we meet Elin 5 talking to Balmora, sorry, I forgot her name for a second. Or was it Balmora, or was it the Peel CEOs? I forget which one. Anyway, when they're meeting there, and they're asking why him, right? And it's because he has a sadistic personality closest to Elin's. So, I believe harm was intended.
Right. He is a jerk, as stated directly in the text.
And for the first bit, I actually posted this one in the comment section myself. The students of the school have met Elin 5 at the business meet that they went to. Now, this is where it goes off a little bit nitpicky, because said commenter here has also responded to me in the comments, and I just waited till we did this to give my response to that. They said, who would have been there to known? Well, goddamn it, what's his name? Starts with an S. Open shirt guy. You're muted.
Oh, sorry, muted because I was making lots of noises no one wants to hear. Sadiq.
Yeah, Shadiq. One, Shadiq was there. Obviously, Miro and Suletta were there. That's 3 people. Now, we don't know if Elin 5 ran across the other 2 students that were invited along as well. But they were also there. And it's a big old open room. Who knows? They could have also met Elin 5 there, because he's just sitting around in the open. But the point being is at least Shadiq met Elin 5. And he is a student of the school, which makes me technically correct which, as we all know, is the best kind of correct.
I think just kind of like as a side thought right here, nobody at all is aware that there's more than one Elon possible right now, right? No
Balmora
one has any
does.
suspicion that he's a different person. They're just like, new Elon's really cool.
I mean, Balmora does. The 4Peel CEOs do,
I meant
obviously.
among the students.
Well, Elon Master Elon does. If there's anything we know about Shadiq, he probably does. I don't think it's really impossible for him to have figured this shit out.
The characterization I have of Shadiq right now is that he'd eventually be like, "Oh no, I knew all along" or something. But we'll just have to see on that one. Further the comment. Fun fact: real Elon Series doesn't wear any earrings, but his doubles wear them with different designs. In the opening 2, where there's a scene where you see Elon in half in the water, one half is the earring, and the other half is a feather. Did I read that right? Half in the water, one half of his earrings is the shape of a feather.
I think the idea was
number 4. There you go. That's
I was about to say Elon 4
and
had
the other
feather.
is the shape of a diamond, which is number 5. But does number 4 appearance in the opening mean that he's making a return in some way, or is it just a reference?
Well, he's dead, so no.
We keep saying he's dead. Maybe he's still alive. Come on.
I'll hold on to the Elon 4 is dead thing as long as you hold on to Martin Upmont gets stabbed with a knife at some point.
It'll be funny.
Well,
and
literally, we know he doesn't get stabbed with a knife, so...
Yeah, we're already past that. And of course, our last commenter here is Delta Halo 241. I do wonder what Norio was planning on doing had she successfully squashed Nika and Suletta. I mean, last season showed that humans have a lot of blood in them. I'd be interested to know how they planned on cleaning up and hiding the evidence. I think they were just planning on blowing shit up and running after that point.
I mean, it's conceivable, I guess, that it would just be an accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't make herself known. We didn't know that she was there.
They could place it like an accident. They could like just say they weren't there. Nobody knows who was piloting the thing, and now it's like, oh, the machine just crushed these 2 students. Whoops! What a terrible thing.
Well, we already know from like episode 1 or 2, or I guess both technically, that was a cruise that will get you out of a bad situation. You know, runners, if you will, to take you to places you want to go. Plus, it seems like you could get extradited to Earth pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Or not pretty easily, but you get extradited to Earth, and it seems like Earth is going to side with Earthians, so...
Right. I think I do have a third option here I just thought of. There was no plan. They were just literally doing on the fly, and would have to realize later what a terrible idea it was.
How is that different from your first plan?
Because the first one is, they intend to do it from the beginning. Smash and grab as a tactic, basically.
Smash and grab is not a plan. That's just something that you do when you have no plan.
It's half of a plan.
It's not half of a plan, it's the setup to having no plan. So yeah, the thing is I used to do a lot of roleplay stuff for an assassin in some other game, right? Not like a tabletop game, like an ongoing, like, virtual environment thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in the training to become an assassin, you literally had to spend time in the place that you planned to assassinate a person, scope out all the exits, get to know the people in the area so you know how they would react to it. You know, you had to set up the assassination, figure out how to do it, and have multiple means of escape. That is not a smash and grab. That is a plan. A smash and grab is, oh fuck, things are happening. I better get out of here.
I guess I'm just too used to playing Payday and the such.
Well, you're used to playing Payday badly then.
No, that's what you have to do, man.
No, you can walk in, find shit out, then somebody says, okay, now put on the masks, and that's when shit happens. You're playing it badly.
I got a 6-hour diatribe about the mechanics of Payday to go over here, and my frustration would not be able to perfectly ghost every single mission. I'm frustrated, but that's for a different video. Go ahead and go to the Patreon and get us $20 a month if you want to hear me rant about Payday for 6 hours.
I think we just make that one video.
It'd just be the one.
Alright, alright, start recording. Alright, Griff, you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, take a break, get a snack, do anything, take a shower, no one will notice.
I'm gonna go watch 3 consecutive movies.
But of course we do still have our last time on, which was Envoys from Earth. 2 weeks following the planned Kita incident, the event was covered up and most of Earth House returned to Assicia with while Mjorn stayed with the now comatose Delling. After defending her title in successive matches, Suletta learns of an upcoming open house where she, as holder, must participate in the Battle Royale event. Meanwhile, Sarius has made acting head of the dueling group, a Delling group, and cracks down on Donna Fold whilst hiding his connection to them by blaming Jetrik's company, now headed by Ghoul's younger brother Lauda, for letting their mobile suits fall into terrorist hands. He also orders Sadiq to lay low, but the latter has his own plans that involve having Noria and Sophie infiltrate Astasia and join Earth House. However, while the others get along with them, Nika is dismayed by their presence. During the open house, the duo is ordered to sabotage the Ferrect, but Nika threatens to expose them, prompting them to silence her. Fortunately, Suletta rescues Nika and challenges the two to a duel, which Sophie accepts. Elsewhere, Prospera confronts Mjorn and reveals that Delling was working on a secret project meant to end war called Quiet Zero, and she wants her to continue it.
Why were they trying to sabotage the Ferrect specifically, do you think?
Why specifically?
I mean,
They got 2 Gundam targets to go for. I guess maybe they just felt it was the easier one.
I don't know. I mean, the Ferrect is kind of a special case. It's the only mobile suit, or it's the only made Gundam that was not made by Ox Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
That we know of.
It's the newer one, I suppose.
Well, it's not. It's the worst one, but it's the only one that we know is not made from Ox Earth. Assuming that our 2 witches from Earth are piloting Ox Earth throw-off models or whatever. I guess we'll find that out in Vanada's heart at some point.
Right, we gotta learn all the backstory here, which we'll get over time.
Well, I mean, the 5 years between, but the fact that there's at least one mobile suit, or I'm sorry, one Gundam on Earth 5 years ago, assuming that's what's in the giant trailer that we saw in the manga Vanada's Heart. Go watch our thing if you didn't see it.
Let's see. What else, though? I think, the other interesting bit here is just kind of where are these 2 going to be at the end of it? Are Noria and crew gonna go ahead and just, bounce after this? Or are they going to actually do a deep infiltration across the entire season and stick around?
And who knows that they were at... God, I can't remember the name of the asteroid. Who knows that they were at that asteroid?
Plant Kita.
Plant Kita. Who knows that they were there? On our hero side.
I think absolutely nobody.
Nika.
Nika is the only one, yes.
Nika might.
I think Mika could probably make a big assumption.
I mean, probably, because Nika probably knows who's on that side and who they'd have available. But
it's that crew, those machines, piloted by those people, and they're right here, so I guess those people must be in those machines.
I mean, the fact that Nika knows them, or at least knows who they're associated with, but again, we don't know that Nika knows that they were the ones piloting those Gundams, unless Nika knows that those are the only Gundam pilots they have. It's very dependent on what Nika knows.
Which I guess also means we gotta know more. How many other Gundam pilots are out there? Let's find out.
One other one.
Just one. Okay.
Well, it's a young boy. He's probably 5 years older than he was the last time we saw him, though.
There you go.
Also, would be the only male Gundam pilot that we know about. Really throwing the whole Gundam series on its head, where it's usually all male Gundam pilots and the occasional female Gundam pilot.
Mhm.
Now we have only no female Gundam pilots, a bunch of mobile suit men, and one we hope still alive male Gundam pilot.
Given this track record with killing off characters, they might be dead already.
I mean, we don't know how Venada's heart ends because it's only in the prologue still.
Let's go ahead and find out. But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. Top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, so also early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's also for a channel, just a little bit extra. It's 89% done. You don't gotta do anything. Put your name on it.
草案者がノートレッド・レンブランだとしてもお母さんが
The drama. It's already going.
ガンダムの呪いの根源でしょ人間にとってはねけれどあの現象には既存のネットワークと違う超密度情報体系を発現できる側面があるの超密度
They're doing a human instrumentality.
エアリアルが決闘で相手をたびたびオーバーライドしていたのは
We've weaponized the curse.
Wow.
パーメットリンクを介したあらゆるシステムを制御する新機軸のネットワーク構想。エアリアルはそれを起動するためのトリガー。何それ？クソ親父は神様にでもなるつもり？そうね。とてもとても傲慢な神様。けれど私は彼の意志に共感した。戦いも失う悲しみもない世界に。私は総裁に協力すると決めたわ。だからスレッタを編入させて決闘に参加させた。あんた、やっぱりスレッタを。あの子は学校に行くことを夢見てたわ。親として可能な限り答えたつもり。それに決闘なら生き死に。
I mean, your dad only killed my husband, but whatever.
アスティカシア学園はエアリアルの最適化にベストな環境だった。順調だったわ。プラントが襲撃されるまでは。総裁が目覚めなければクワイエットゼロは動かせない。グループに知られれば最悪凍結の可能性もある。私がリークするって考えないの？ここから逃げ出せないのが何よりの証拠じゃないかしら。お父様の対応を返してはいけない。
What does that imply?
I'm just staggered is what I am. That was the drop right there.
I mean, that's the I wouldn't tell you my plans unless I was sure you couldn't stop me at this point.
I completed my plans 30 minutes ago.
But also, I mean, it's telling that she's saying that... So I was looking for the water scene. It's telling that she's saying that the plant attack also threw her own plans out of whack as well.
It does make me think, so... What side is Earth on, then?
Its own side. We've known that from the prologue.
Right, but I was under the assumption that since they had Gundams and such, that Prospera was working probably with Earth. But now that definitely is completely not
There's
true.
that water scene, by the way.
Yep, right there.
But, well, we know she spent a lot of her time there.
We still need more information, but we got the conspiracy drop, and I'm so happy.
They spent the majority of their time there, if you remember Cradle Planet.
So that means the most comparison I can make to Suletta now is Shinji. Get in the mech. Get in the mech, Suletta. Her
Probably more
instrumentality now.
Oh, I was wondering what they were getting sick about. I'd say closer to Amuro Ray.
美味しいのにな。できた。傷薬ですか？手当てくらいのおせっかいは構わないだろう。
ファラクトの調整中に事故ったって教えてくれりゃいいのにな。
ミカは昔から何も教えてくれなかったよ。自分のこと何も。
I guess they did get away with it.
Yup.
聞いてもいいですか？
Well, they got the duel,
ソ
so.
フィーさんたちと何があったのか。話したらもっと迷惑かけちゃうから。私もニカさんにかけてます。迷惑。だから私も孤児なんだ。親の顔も生まれた場所も知らない。小さな部屋に押し込められて毎日いろんな部品組み立ててた。憧れてたんだ、学校に通うこと。
Oh, they're mirrors.
に行けるってなってすごく嬉しかった。夢が叶うんだって。
Oh man, that's actually from the magazine.
Oh gosh, it is.
That was one of the magazine, I forget which one.
私はスレッタを自分に重ねてただけ。それだけだよ。ニカさん、大丈夫。あとは私が何とかするから。スレッタは学校楽しまなきゃダメだよ。
スレッタ。
エロンさん。
It's the boy.
二人きりになれた。
私お店手伝わないと。
平気だよ。それより。
Shit, which rings do Zealand 5 wear again?
君に避けられている理由。孤独だった僕を。
The diamond ones, I think.
僕のことを知りたいと言ったのも君だ。だから今度こそ君からの好意の証をちょうだい。
Bonk.
お姉ちゃん、今度はあっち行こうよ。ソフィーさん、止まって。
This is the second time Sophie in particular has ruined Dylan's plans.
口説き落とせなくて。
ま、次の機会があるさ。
ガンダムのパイロットに次なんてあるんですか？ペイル社に飼われて箱庭で命を浪費して滑稽ですね。
Well, they know.
Gosh, gee, just instantly shatter the illusion, why don't you?
自分で生きることも死ぬことも決められない。かわいそうなやつだった。最後は一人寂しく死んだっけ。
イラつきますね、あなた。
君もなかなか鬱陶しいよ。
Well, at least they get along.
Oh, he gave them the access to Ferract, of course.
Wow.
Remember
No,
the
you're
whole
right.
no
You're
borrowing
absolutely
the pad rule thing, and she was handing it back to him.
私たち本物の家族になるの。そしたらあいつも殺さないでおいてあげる。ごめんなさい。私、お嫁さんいますから。お嫁さん？ミオリネさんと約束したんです。そばにいるって。決闘も負けないって。だから決闘。私が勝ちます。ミオリネレンブラン、デリングの娘、株式会社ガンダムの社長。そっか、ミオリネがお姉ちゃんを閉じ込め。
Come on, just tell her he's responsible for your dad's death.
Oh, she said what I was thinking. If I just kill Bjorn, you'll be free, right? A rumble ring. Oh, I love the name.
Well, you don't say that until you're about to do the duel.
ルールはバトルロイヤル方式。制限時間は30分。ブレードアンテナを折られた時点で戦闘不能とみなし、最後まで残ったパイロットの勝利とします。参加は自由。まあエキシビションなんで負けても恥かいたりしませんよ。
明日から僕は正式にジェターク社 CEO に就任する。学園生活。
Oh, you better not die this episode, man.
Oh, he's so gonna die. Oh my gosh, no.
See ya!
先輩のディランザ、私が完璧に仕上げてあります。思い切り戦えますから。
ありがとう、ペトラ。
Oh, Petra's had a crush on the half-brother the whole time.
I love that they just have their own little thing going off on the side. It's just not relevant to everyone else.
What the fuck is going on? What did we miss?
This is a battle royale. This is the expedition.
No, not. They're cheering on Elin for Gundam.
He's been working with them since last season.
No.
That was like the deal they made with the company, with Peel.
No. You're just saying shit that didn't happen, Griff. If you remember, their whole thing was with Sinelli. And then they beat him, so it didn't happen. You're attributing Elin's shit to Shadiq. Shadiq did all that crap, and they beat Shadiq.
I got nothing I can do, Seda. Got nothing I can do for you.
It's not for me, I'm just... You're saying wrong information is all I want to throw out. Elin is suddenly doing shit that he didn't do before. Get down in the comments, tell us what we missed.
They just did a bunch of announcing.
No, not there, I mean, the whole Elin thing. I know you think you're right, but you're wrong. I need the comments to fix this. That monster just abandoned its legs.
Everyone is immediately just like, everyone against Sulata, let's go.
What the fuck is going on?
He's going harder on plant seduction, that's what he's doing.
Oh, I understand it, it just... Everyone else accepting it is really throwing me off. I think this is probably a lot of the fighting from the trailer.
Probably. Oh, PTSD moment.
Yeah, it's easy to tell the Jet Turk house ones because they tend to have a curve. At least the Delanzas do.
Oh, he's angry.
He's been angry since last season.
Punched with the gun, love it.
Well, in Gundam shows, that's probably the best use of the gun. It's a real weird play to use the exact same suits. Yeah, Shadiq's got a big old crew.
Well, the drama's definitely going up.
Well, it's basically now two Gundams versus a Gundam and a half.
Right.
Oh man, illegal weaponry.
The safeties are off.
No, those are bullets. Oh no, okay. One of them has the chain gun, so I assume they both had...
Yep.
緊急事態宣言。ランブルリングは直ちに中止。戦術試験区域にいる者は全員退避。
Or you'll fucking die.
It's like everyone has their safeties on versus people ready to kill them. It's like, yeah, you guys got nothing. No, not that guy.
That dude looks 40 years old.
He aged very rapidly in those 10 seconds.
And now the school full of students witnessed their first real death.
張り切っちゃって。残り時間少ない。始めるよ。2機は決闘に使うからね。パーメットスコア 3。 パーメットスコア3。
The deadpan way she says it every time.
She's just all business. Gunbits that are other Gundams. Oh my gosh, this is escalation right
That
here.
or they're just like holographic images of Gundams.
生体反応がない。無人機か。聞いてないんだけど、そんなの。ガンビットの射出を確認した。始めるぞ。
お芝居は苦手なんだけどな。
なぜ退避しない。先ほどの攻撃で車両に支障が。
サリウス代表、予備車両を呼びました。もう少しだけご辛抱ください。わざとやられんのはストレスたまるわ。
Who said that? I didn't recognize the voice.
ほらほら、お姉ちゃんが望んだ決闘だよ。もっと打ってきてよ。やめてください、みんなが死んじゃう。モビルスーツに乗ったら人は死ぬ。学校で習わなかったの。なんでガンダムでひどいことを。欲しいものがあるからだよ。
I guess to be fair, the excuse for violence is I want your stuff. At least they, they know what they want. Sophie confirmed gamer.
Oh fuck, is that how you're gonna bring Ghoul back? By killing
Yeah.
Lana?
His brother dies, he has to step up.
冗談じゃない。この顔に変えてまで生き延びたんだ。無残だ死ぬのはごめんだよ。死ぬのが怖いならガンダムになんて。
Second there, I thought that was what's her name. I was like, shit.
Nope, just a gunbit.
遅いぞ。代表を安全なところにお連れ。
ごめんなさい、確保します。シャリクがお呼びですよ。代表。
一体何を。
Oh, that's gotta hurt right there.
Yeah, not the characters I thought would turn into terrorists.
作戦終了。撤収するよ、ソフィー。
下がった。なんで？
Alright, the real goal of the operation. Stealing Zanelli away so Shadid gets to be in charge now.
I assumed to kill your father-in-law.
Hey, it's the thing we mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Now it all makes sense.
そうだったんだ。聞こえる、感じる、あの時のときめき、私を殺そうとする綺麗な声。
エアリアルの正体？
エアリアルは11機のガンビットで空間そのものを掌握していました。データストームを利用して。
Space itself?
スレッタは
Just terms. Watch. Just watch.
受けていない。まるで他の誰かがガンビットを操っているよう。
はっきり口に出したらどう？
あなたにはもう一人娘さんがいましたよね。
Shh.
エリクト・サマヤは今どこにいるんですか？
いるわよ。スレッタのすぐそばに。
Knew it. I've been right since the beginning.
Ah, you sure have. Oh, it is exactly what we wanted to hear.
私が欲しかったのは。やめて
データストームのその先で私たちを待っている。
そんな。
I've said about Mora's a better mother than Prospera ever was.
あの子は新しい体を手に入れた。喜んで。エリーこそが私たちの目指すガンドの未来よ。
クワイエットゼロ。
デリング・レンブランが構想したプロジェクト。ガンドフォーマットで戦いや争いを排除する。素敵でしょ？
本当の目的を言ってください。総裁の計画だけならあそこまでのスコアは必要ないはずです。
Oh, it goes deeper.
何のために？
エリーが幸せになるために。
She burned herself out.
Yup.
気に病む必要はありませんよ。あなたが殺す前にソフィーは殺された。私もいつかきっとガンダムの呪いに殺されます。殺されないあなたは何者なんですか？
嘘だろ。ソフィーとノレアが。ニカナナウラはどこだ？テロ等準備罪の容疑で拘束する。君たち地球寮の生徒にも同行を求める。
Oh no.
Martin.
ソフィーさんは間違ってるはずなのに、ガンダムは人を助けるモビルスーツになるはずなのに。そうだよね。ニカさんもミオリネさんも学園だって守れた。
Most of them.
みんなも助けてくれた。進めば2つ。お母さんの言う通り。
Breathe in that copium.
Oh, everything. Oh, it's so dense.
Oh, God, I'm gonna forget more than I want to talk about than I'm able to talk about.
You know, there was just so much here. This is entirely the episode of reveals.
Do you think that Quiet Zero is like a hazard cast?
I think my assumption, and given what just was said, it's human instrumentality.
No, I mean more directly. There's Quiet Zero hazard cast, that there's a computer core with a literal human body in it.
So whose body would be in it, or are they planning on putting
Airy.
it in the area?
They just said Airy. I'm assuming because we've seen it in the beginning of the episode. Quiet Zero is a percentage of building up on it, and this is a giant facility.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let's see what the name of the next episode is before we do an hour-long deep dive.
Sure.
次回機動戦士ガンダム水星の魔女
So it has to be from Mjorn's perspective, I assume.
Yeah,
Anyway,
guess who's coming back?
God, she was such a good character too.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was having fun with Sophie.
You were joking about her. She's, oh, she's a gamer. It's like, no, she's stating everything that she's lacked in her life and the reason that she fights. A family that loves her, a warm bed. She just, and then all the other shit that she stated was basically like kids her age. And, you know, her whole thing being her family are all these broken stuffed animals. I mean, she's a very...
If she can win, she can get a normal life just like she wants with family, with big sister Suletta.
I mean, it goes back to how bad I felt for her when she went score 3 last time. And, I'm going to throw up all my snacks that I just ate. Because it's that childlike characteristic of her on top of the trained soldier part of her all coming together in this weird moment of, that's hits you in the gut.
Yeah, no, it's so good. She basically exists for like 3 episodes, right?
4, I'm going to say.
Maybe 4, sure.
She was in the original Contact scene where we found out that Nika was the rat working with Shadiq.
Right.
Because she's the one that basically runs off to tell the big guy who's in charge of Donna Fold on Earth the message that they got. I mean, that was just the end of the episode, but technically it counts. Then we've had these 2, and then we had 5, and then we had 2 of the 11 and 12 that she shows up with last season. So 5 out of the 14 now.
Right.
About as many as cool.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh gosh, the show keeps killing characters. Oh, I love it.
Well, technically they're not. I mean, technically, yeah. Sorry.
But all of it was just to prove the point around like the whole Project Quiet Zone or whatever it was called again.
Quiet Zero.
Well,
also, we have Laudna now also dying. Possibly. He's in the unknown until next episode, where we see him, because he literally gave the thing, right? Oh, tomorrow I take over CEO of Jaturk Industries, right? No, that's what they said.
Just 2 days from retirement, everyone.
No, actually literally a day away from going to work. Even though we saw him at the Benedict Group meeting where Sarius is trying to blame him for the events of Plant Kita.
And the thing is, he's such a side character. He doesn't really do anything in season 1. We just kind of see pictures of him being very angry that he's been thwarted every single time. And now here he is. We have like a brief moment of him interacting with his groupies, having a good time, seeing their relationships. It's like, this is just a complete side story and everything else. But it's just to build up the fact that he's about to kick the bucket.
Well, this is another Griff doesn't notice the gambler scenario. He has a very intricate storyline going by in season 1, specifically trying to support his brother, trying to stop his brother from doing things, then taking over control of the house. Specifically, he's side by side with Vim, trying to ensure that Ghoul wins the duels that he's supposed to win. No, he's very much not just a side character who's like pictured doing stuff. The times that he was screaming at the end of season 1 about the Mercury and wench losing a fight isn't his end-all be-all. He's constantly doing stuff. It's just not important to you. By you, I mean Griff, not me. Obviously, I paid attention.
Right. All I'm saying is, like, he's just not framed. That's all. We don't have like a framing around him the same way we have Ghoul. So
I would argue here going,
we want Ghoul to come back now.
I would argue that we get equivalent framing for Laudna in that he's literally pictured in multiple scenes with no one around him, just so that we get his viewpoints on things. Which isn't something we do with other side characters like, oh god, what's her name? I think she's called Potato a couple of times. The girl that one of Shadiq's entourage accused of cheating with her boyfriend.
Oh yeah, that whole thing from last season. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. When she gets reaction shots, she's literally surrounded with people, or at least has another person in the scene. That's the difference between Laudna and her. She's a side character who's got important shit to say too. Laudna is maybe side character and a half. He is more important than other side characters.
So Theta, I gotta ask, where do you want to start unpacking how right you are?
I don't know. Why don't you start, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay, so we have confirmation. Eri is in fact in Ariel, or at least like some information about her. They say like past the data storm. They haven't mentioned the body. Those aren't conclusive things right now.
Well, that's why I brought up the hazard cast thing, because obviously they're saying she is an Ariel, but the concept there can entirely be the same way they talking about at the beginning of the episode, that the data storm controls space. And you were about to launch into something, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just had this sudden thought of every time one of us says something, I've got to cut that off of the screen. So it's like, we've got to get as much in as possible. But
I know, I was just being hyped for it.
Yeah. When they say they control space, I had the thought in my head that she was meaning tactically. Like, I control all of these, anything with a permit score.
Yeah.
Data Storm can control anything with a permit score, which is every single mobile suit that is active. Because every mobile suit can use this permit to do its thing, to be interacted with. We even read that out in like episode 2 or 3 when we were going through the definition of terms on the official website. So, Data Storm can control anything with a permit score, or capable of having a permit score. Or using a permit link, rather. Like,
it's the anti-Gundam in a universe that only has like 4 Gundams.
Right. But my point being is that it can do it at range. Like the Antidote does to, or Antidote is supposed to do to Gundams, but doesn't, because everyone can go 3 and override it. Because apparently you have to go 3 to override Antidote. Or like Ariel does to the gun bits that we saw this episode. Right? So, if Quiet Zero is located at a base, why not then think that Quiet Zero is transmittable and being able to be like a Wi-Fi signal, right? Like you turn your phone on and turn it into a Wi-Fi hotspot, and then other phones around you can connect to your phone. What if it's a reverse of that? That it's a transmission being sent to Ariel, and then Ariel becomes a reverse hotspot. You're forced to connect to Ariel.
That'll be interesting.
I think that's what's happening. It's my interpretation.
The thing that like definitely hits me is like, why do you need a score that high anyway? When we're already seeing like 3 is enough to like do combat, and like Ariel would not need to like go much higher than that to win.
She said
like go up 30 and upwards and such.
Well, no, I think they said it like season 2 or season 1. Near the end, so I can't remember who said it. Someone specifically said something crazy like permit score 200 or something like that. It was in the hundreds.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically thinking in that moment, this has to be related to something else, because permit score 3 and 4 kills people. So, it's either a typo, someone said something wrong, mistranslation, but here's the clear and obvious answer.
Yeah. It entirely is about the radius of whatever this Project Quiet is going to do.
Or it's the number of things it's able to affect. Again, assuming that I'm right, which I always do.
There, keep going.
That what if one permit score in this new measure is just the number of mobile suits that can be controlled? So saying, oh, it's achieved permit score 200 is I can control from this one location 200 mobile suits.
Local army, yeah.
In which case, then also, I guess, maybe... Shit, what's the name of the organization that Ghoul wanted to be an ace of again? Dominicus. Sorry.
There you go.
It's all in here. It's just the energy now is coming through. Dominicus, with its anti-Gundam fighting force and antidotes, if it's 1-for-1 with Quiet Zero, then maybe their antidote shit will come back into play, and they'll be able to shut down spheres of attacking mobile suits, and then Dominicus will turn back into the hero of the story.
We got a lot of random pieces on the board that probably still need to be addressed there. But that just kind of means that we got some fun mysteries and reveals to do in the future.
Why wasn't the front defense forces active from the moment things went wrong? We know that they're immediately active because you remember in season 1, end of episode 1, they literally just jump right into the duel zone to stop Ariel from fighting the moment. That's a Gundam. Like, their response time was like 5 to 10 seconds. They did not jump into this fight, and it was commented upon that it was noticeable that they weren't jumping in.
Yep, because it's all been manipulated. They all realized, wait a second, something messed up.
But if it was manipulated, why did they come in literally minutes later anyway?
Because Shadiq doesn't have perfect control, I guess.
I mean, they did announce something like, we don't have the time. Maybe it was a time thing again, but I don't know. It's weird that they came in to arrest everybody while at the same time being completely unresponsive to children dying. God, this is so topical for some reason.
I wonder what real-life circumstances we could possibly point to where a bunch of kids die at school and the local authorities don't do anything.
But we also have Sarius being abducted. And then Shadiq saying, I'm grateful for everything you've done. Literally, obviously, not talking to him, because we have another of those, what do we call them? Contact link?
Shadiq just has contact link. Yeah.
That's what I said, we have another one of those where people are just talking to thin air. I'm grateful for everything you did to me, old man. And just talking to a screen with no contact link. Also, the guy who dies. We've got to get him to safety. Yeah, because it sounded like...
I love that moment. I saw it. I was like, wait, why is he pausing there weirdly? He's like, oh, because he's getting shot.
Well, I think I'd have the same effect if I was killed by what sounded like high-velocity BB guns. Because it was like, what gunshots?
Those are perfectly silenced right there.
Well, they were unrealistically silenced, because silencers don't work that way.
I mean, they haven't explained any gun technology. They could be like, whatever, the mag coil.
We do know that projectile technology is illegal.
Well, illegal to use during their tournaments.
No, they're illegal.
You're supposed to have safeties on.
No. Illegal to use at all. It is, I can't remember. They named...
Oh, right. No, though, that applies specifically to the mobile suits because you don't want to have random flying objects in space because someone could hit that eventually.
One would argue the same thing would also apply to space stations and everything else, which might be why it would apply to everywhere. Because you don't want an errant bullet puncturing the hull and having all of your oxygen.
That bullet is technically going to be in orbit forever, going at that same velocity until it hits something.
Well, I'm not talking about it just being out in space. I mean, you don't want to puncture a hull breach, right? I understand.
Oh yeah, no, that's also a problem.
I understand that the vacuum of space in like sci-fi movies is not adequately portrayed. You're not going to be sucked out the hull. At the same time, that's a room you can't enter in until somebody fixes it, right? You don't want that to exist. That's a problem. But they sounded like high-tech BBs. Like, the dude got shot and was like, "Did you just shoot me?" Oh, I'm dead now, I guess.
Straight through the heart, too. It's like, he's like, oh, no, that's all the oxygen leaving, bye.
Well, I mean, if not the heart, at least the lung. It was in that chestal region, right? Which could also account for the pause. I can't get the breath anymore. But yeah, no, captured the father. Laudna is on the ground. I think the one who just looked like they had feelings for him was the one who immediately responded. Because that would also account for why they were very emotionally driven in their voice. Also, the Ghoul family is just going down one by one. Sorry, the Turk family.
The Jet Turks are entirely a tragedy right now. It is good stuff.
Well, we know that their father, I guess, Ghoul's grandfather, his grandpa died somewhere between prologue and episode 1, because that's how Vim took over the company. Vim died in episode 12. Anyone who takes the job as CEO is just going down. Oh, I wonder now if Shadiq is going to go after Prospera.
They are set up now to be antagonistic with each other, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, very specifically, I don't see any reason why they would be given instruction to specifically take out Laudna. If not, the Shadiq is trying to have a 100% control of the Delling group. Sorry, the Bennett group. Because, I mean, he could sit on the top, but if he had no other CEOs to directly confront him, I mean, there's got to be 500 CEOs. We saw that, like, episode 2 or 3.
He wants to do a full takeover, is what you're thinking.
Well, no, we saw in episode 2 or 3, there's, like, they did that, like, big old, I'm about to call it a Skype call. It's not Discord. What do we use during the pandemic?
Zoom.
Like, Zoom calls can have, like, 1,000 people. Like, the 500 companies that make up the Bennett group, all in one call. So we know he's not, like, there's no reason to kill all the CEOs. Unless he's directly trying to destroy the Bennett group and not take it over.
Mm-hmm.
No, did he say something like that? God, I swear he said something like that, episode 11 or 12. Hit us up in the comments if you said something like that.
I think it would make sense as a plan, but we gotta see where it goes, because he could also just be entirely on the warpath at this point.
Well, Sarius adopted him from an orphanage and taught him everything he knows, so it makes sense that Sarius is getting, like, special treatment if he's trying to kill all the CEOs and not his adopted father, who saved him from becoming what these two girls are here in the illustration became.
He's gonna have, like, Zanelli with him. He's gonna be like, look, Dad, look at all the things that I've done. Watch as I destroy everything. Kind of moment.
Which is very biting, because you remember Sarius created everything that Delling took over.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh yes, I finally get my seat back. Oh, that's a bad joke. Now I remember he's in a wheelchair. I finally get my position back. And then my adopted son takes it away from me.
Oh, gosh. I think the last thing I want to comment on here is Noria, right? So we have Sophie and Noria. Sophie's dead. Rip. Sorry. Goodbye, best gamer girl.
Probably.
But Noria has been, like, a very...
Second best girl? No, I've already said I got a thing for the older Shadiq follower. Third best girl.
There's too many best girls here, honestly.
Emotionally second best. Tier-wise third best, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. But we have Noria, who's basically had a flat affect forever. And of course, Sophie dies. The most she can conjure is slight contempt, I think.
Well, because she has the background, essentially, of, like, a Taiwanese sweatshop worker, right? That life has not been good to me, and instead of, like, throwing a fit or, you know, instead of doing any, like, movie trope character, if I don't give in to emotion, then emotion can't hit me back. She's pulling that sort of thing. I can't lose what I don't put out there.
Right, she's as troubled as anyone else here. But now she's the surviving member of that pair. She's one of the other Gundam pilots here. She's got a name, she's done stuff, she's basically was ready to just squish Suletta earlier. And now she has extra information of, like, alright, Suletta can survive over Permit 3 and live. What the hell? We got extra information over on the Sadiq side now.
Well, no, that was all useless. Sorry. It was useless information because we know it's not true. Because of Elin 4. Remember Elin 4 is like, let me let Polly soup for a bit. Oh, my shit doesn't activate what's in here. And then she goes, what's wrong with you, Suletta? And it's like, we know 100% nothing is special about Suletta other than she's our special little girl. Other than that, she's not even that because we've been lied to. There's nothing special about her. She's not built up like the Elins are. She doesn't do the permit stuff. Ariel does the permit stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, do we confirm, like, she's never had, like, any of the markings or anything at any point?
Correct. Even they've showed that this time that Aerie
so it
has
is.
the
It's
markings.
entirely Aerie, yeah.
So the only
She's a normal girl.
The only thing special about Suletta is that she's special to us. Everybody else thinks that she's got this weird thing. It's the whole misnarrative thing going on.
Yeah.
That Elid had to find out himself. They believe about Suletta, but is untrue. That Suletta is literally as capable of piloting Ariel as you or I would be if we had gotten the schooling to pilot mobile suits.
Right. Suletta is completely unenhanced. Prospera is doing her plan. She's already put Aerie into a Gundam. And she's just like, well, my second child really wants to go to school, but I'm also running a conspiracy. Can I balance these two needs as a mother?
I mean, how about this, right? The guy who kills your husband and everybody that you cared about, and you, like, then go to Earth, and then he's like, hey, how about you sacrifice your daughter for me, too? It's like, at what point was she like, you know, I was real angry at you and literally made a sword to kill you, but you sold me on this, and I'm willing to side with you until the very end. Now, I've come up with my own additional plans I haven't told you about, but I will forgive you for killing my whole family. And let me just add my daughter into that as well. I can have
like
more.
she said herself, their ideals align here. They both want to end war. Undoubtedly, she still has plenty of emotion about all this, but she's like, no, yeah, let's do this. Let's stop all the violence.
I don't even know where Delling comes in on this.
We're gonna find out next time.
No.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Remember his whole speech from the prologue that people should be responsible for killing people, not machines and everything like that. Now we have to believe that after he gave that speech and killed the whole Gundam program, he then developed a program for machines to kill people.
It's the sin that we must bear when we go to war, but now we need not bear that sin any longer, as I have brought peace forcefully to everyone.
I'm just saying it's directly opposite of the speech he gave that sold everyone on how evil Gundams were. It's like, yeah, I've killed the Gundam making operation. Now no longer will machines kill people. Now, let me work on Quiet Zero, which machines will be responsible. Wait, unless he's thinking, no, that little girl inside the machine is responsible for killing people. It's a really weird mental twist. No, sorry, not him. His wife, the one we never met, was responsible for. So he went from, okay, alright, I've eliminated all the machines that kill people while killing other people. Oh, what's that, honey? Oh, you've created a machine to kill people? Alright, since it's you.
I believe we just call that hypocrisy, but that's
well,
okay.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna find out. I'm sure we're gonna find out because during the intro, the OP rather, we have the brief glimpse of Mjorn as a baby reaching out for tomatoes on a table with a figure that's not shown other than like cross section of an arm.
Oh my gosh!
So it's gonna be the mother.
Imagine for a second, mirror Mjorn and Suletta. Mjorn gets a Gundam with her mother in it.
Well, I think the other idea is possibly that
Genji get in the mech.
I believe the other idea is that Aerie is actually in Ariel. Yeah. Like they've said, and not in Quiet Zero, like has been proposed, and that Mjorn's mother is in Quiet Zero, and that's why it's literally Hazard Cast. Mjorn's half-dead mother is in Quiet Zero. Remember in episode...
I never thought we'd get a sequel to Tokyo 24th Ward. Here it is.
I keep bringing up everything is the 24th Ward. But you remember in episode 12, Mjorn is like, well, why didn't you just both run away? Maybe they both did. Maybe one of them didn't really survive. Maybe one of them got put into a giant future predictive model machine. I don't know. It's very much Hazard Cast. It's amazing how many things after 24th Ward have turned into Hazard Cast.
I think Mjorn at this point as a character has as many questions as we do for Delling, and I hope we get that entire monologue right there. That's gonna be great.
I appreciate she never says the word father without the word lousy somewhere around there. It's like, okay, 5 sentences in a row, you've said the word lousy father. I've got it already.
Look, you gotta reinforce the point every now and then.
But yeah, and I guess if you're watching the show, just look up Hazardcast, so you at least understand the references and how spot on they actually are.
But for right now, I think that covers basically everything in the episode. Until we get more, we just gotta wait till next week.
Well, I'm sure 2 or 3 days from now, I'll be like, oh shit, this other thing that was major in...
That's what we use for the intro right there. So, go ahead and hold on to that thought. And this has been Stoneface Reactions, everyone. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you all next time. See you around.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?